because it's like a devotion thing, but that's just me, right? But then again, it's like I've only had that one friend who's kind of keen to my needs and wants, and I to theirs, and understands my ways because I'm very peculiar, as you might see in my videos. And so, but I like the fact that it did say that, true friends, they're comfortable in silence. So, like, you don't always have to be going out and doing things with friends for you to know that that person loves you and wants to be your friend, right? They can just come over and just sit around and do nothing. Friendship is like that. And I remember when I was in college, like, I'd go to my friend Debbie's room and we would just hang out and like just be in each other's company. We'd laugh and joke and just be there. And then when we had nothing to say, we'd just sit in silence. And like I had another girl who was my friend of mine, Nomilia. At that time I had two friends, even three maybe, I think. But anyway, so, and like we would be quiet for a minute and then Nomilia would be like, why is it so quiet in here, right? And then Debbie would be like, you just smacked the angel, or whatever it was. Like, there was an angel going through here and you broke the silence by smacking the angel, or whatever it was she said. But the point is, we would sit in silence and we were fine with it until someone would broke the silence and we would laugh and whatever. So, good friends, you don't always have to be partying and going out and doing this and that, right? You can be at home together, or, just in silence. I remember sometimes, like, if I'm in my room and Debbie's in her room, and she would call me and we would talk, and then we had nothing to say, and she'd stay on the phone and I'd be on the phone, and like I'd be doing whatever and the phone is on. Or even my aunt too, because like we were like totally friends. Like, she's like my best friend, and so she's all the way in New York, I'm in Brooklyn, and we would just be on the phone distances away. I had nothing to say, she had nothing to say, but like we didn't really want to go, so she'd be on the phone, right? So silence is okay amongst friends, okay? And then it says, true friends can speak the hard truth when foolish decisions are made. So if you don't have a friend who can tell you what you're doing wrong, you don't have a friend. So, because friends are there to help you. They're there to guide you. They're there to, prevent bad things from happening to you. You're supposed to rely on them and trust in their, capability, right? Their genuineness, their openness, right? And you should not be afraid of what comes out of their mouth, that they're out to hurt you. Debbie, you once told me that she had a friend where everything she said was harmful. Like, it hurt her feelings. It was either about her hair or about her size or about whatever. And it's like, once your friend starts hurting you every time they open their mouth, they're no longer your friends, right? Because friends are not ought to hurt. However, if you're doing something wrong and you don't want your friend to tell you what you're doing is wrong, what do you have them for, right? Because someone telling you that you've done something wrong is guiding you. It's helping you to stop, right? So you don't get hurt in the long run. So friends are here to help you enjoy life, have fun, but they're also there to refrain you from doing stupidness, right? And that's just what a friend is, okay? So I totally agree with that. Many attributes on the true friends list could fit Job's companions. Unfortunately, we don't know the history of their relationship. If the relationship was strong, sitting patiently with Job for 7 days was probably just fine. Actually, among the Jews and among the Orient generally, it was a matter of decorum not to speak to a person in deep affliction. Also, in this case, the men's comment are more understandable as they themselves try to understand the situation based on their concepts of God and the universe. Hidden sin was their first guess as the cause of Job's suffering. In other Old Testament stories, calamities were brought on by sin and revealed by the right response. The storm stopped after Jonah was thrown off the ship. Perhaps Job's friends were confident enough in their friendship to risk saying hurtful things in the hope of being helpful. So, if you have a friend that tippy-toes around the truth, that's not a friend, right? I don't think so. And a lot of people, they feel like friends should lie to you, like, white lies, like you don't want to hurt your friend. And it's true, you should not want to hurt your friend. You should be careful how you say what you say, right? Let's say my friend drinks too much, right? I don't have such friends, but if my friend is drinking a lot, right? And then I find that they're about to become a drunkard. So I should be able to tell my friend, dude, like you're drinking every day. Is there something wrong? Like, that's not good for you, right? Or smoking, or if your friend decides that they want to rob someone, or if the friend is jealous and they're talking, smack about someone they don't like, right? You should be able to tell your friend what they're doing is wrong. Obviously, you should be careful how you say it so you're not too hurtful. But the funny thing is, like, any truth can hurt if it's not pleasant, right? So me telling my friend, you're becoming a drunkard, right? You're drinking too much. If that is not something they want to hear, they're going to get upset. But they have to come to the realization that if they know that I love them, that I'm saying it for their own good. So I have been one that people feel I'm a bit harsh in what I say. But I really am not trying to be harsh. I'm frank. I'm open. I say what I think. And that's the end of it. Like, I'm not fake, and I'm not like someone who's like going to sugarcoat things per se. I try not to like hurt people as much as I can. But if you're doing something stupid, I will tell you that's just stupid. I mean, but the thing is, before I'm able to say that, you will know how much I love you, right? Like my sister, for example, like she does something that I don't like, and I'm like, Joe, that's just like dumb. Like, what are you doing? Right? But I have proven to her throughout the years how much I love her and how much I'm devoted to her. So then she should know that I'm not saying it to like hurt her to a mortal, like to a deadly state of, horrific whatever, right? I'm trying to like get to her, because some people, like, you can't sugarcoat things because they don't understand. I'm sorry, like, because like, how you feel like some people should know certain things, like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like you can go easy on children, but adults, you should know better, right? And when I feel like you should know better, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. Like, so I act a bit differently. So, yeah, I've been known to be a bit harsh as a friend, but I always mean well, right? And I hope, I've been told, my friends know that I love them, because like, I don't say like things that are hurtful for the sake of hurting, right? And I always explain myself. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to hurt you, but this is what I'm saying this because, and then they usually all the time, like, well, they'll have to tell me if I'm wrong, especially if they're watching this video, right? That, like what I said, if I wasn't right, but I do know that it's on, honestly, that I do have to tone it down a bit, because the truth hurts. And even myself, like when my aunt or my sister tells me something that I don't want to hear, the first thing is to be defensive and be like, no, like, I don't want to do that, or that's not what happened, or that's not the way it is. But then I have to really think and be like, you know what, they're right. And then follow their instructions, even when that wouldn't have been the first course that I would take, right? So again, friends sometimes can be harsh, and they can be, blunt, and even hurtful. But if they're your true friends, they do it for a reason. And before they are this way, you should be able to tell how close you are, and then trust their judgment and know that they're not really out to hurt you, right? But they're out to help you, okay? So here's the problem. The number of friends with whom we can be this open could probably be counted on one's hand. This dialogue must be earned by extended, close friendship. Words like these in the book of Job cannot be delivered outside of safe relationships. So that's what I was just saying, right? Like my friends know how much I love them, right? We've been close for months to years to like before I'm able to express myself in a way that, might be seen as hurtful. Like I won't do that to a total stranger. Like okay, example. I knew this girl for like, and we were like, I felt she was my friend and someone that I trusted and loved. And I still do love her because like once I make friends, that's it. Like you're in my heart for like ever. Even if we're detached and we separate, like I know I never did anything to harm you, not willingly, and if you've hurt me and I decide to put you aside, that's just my choice because I want to make it to heaven and I feel like you're not on that path with me, okay? But like you're still in my heart. Anyway, so this girl, I knew her for like months. And then, I noticed that she had like a bit of an odor. And I'm like, like I know she wouldn't want to be smelling, right? So, after a while of taking the smell, so I was like, such and such, who does your laundry? And then she was like, oh, my sister does. And I'm like, well, maybe you should take up the job because I don't think she's doing a good job. Because I can smell you in your clothing. I'm like, I didn't say like, dude, you stank. I try to put it in such a way, to make it more passable, right? Obviously, it's still hurtful, right? Because someone's telling you your odor is not pleasant, because obviously, if I smell you in your clothing, to me, that means body odor, right? Like your body, I smell. Right, so she took it. I don't know how, I never smelled, the smell again, and I did try to be as kind as I could, right? But I had known her for a couple of months before and, had decided that we were friends. And she was in my room, and I don't let people come in my room, like, if we're not friends, right? So, we've been talking, we ate lunch together, we talked together, we went to church together, whatever. Like, we were, like, getting close before I was actually able to tell her, you have body odor, right? So that's the kind of thing I'm saying. You can't say anything to anyone and expect them to take it like it, water off the duck's back, whatever they say. Like they're gonna feel some kind of way. But if the person is your friend, they're gonna know you're not intending to hurt them. So it's not everything you say to everyone. You have to be careful what you say to people. But if it's your friend, then obviously they should know, that you're not aimed to hurt them, right? I keep repeating myself, but that's the point. If you or a close friend has ever had something unexpectedly bad happen, you have probably spent time together trying to figure out why. That is not the same thing as judging. Judging people for walking in front of cars is different from helping a friend see that walking in front of cars is dangerous. Helping without judging is a task that requires careful relationships and diligent prayer. So, everyone is so afraid of the word judgment, right? And I, for one, I was just talking to my sister and she was like, this guy made a comment about like, he judges everything. And you know what? I judge everything too. And here's his comment, and I totally agree. I don't judge to say a person is bad or good. I judge so I know what course I'm going to take. For example, someone walks in drunk. I'm going to make the judgment call to go to the other side of the room, right? Because I don't know what you're capable of when you're drunk, right? Someone, walks in with a gun and they say, put your hands up. We're in a bank. I'm going to make a judgment call that he's robbing the bank. Okay, that's very simplistic, but I'm just saying, right? So what people are usually afraid of when they say judging, right? It's like someone comes in with a mini skirt, right? And then you're like, they're, loose. Okay. To each his own, right? But the same way that you would approach someone who is all covered up, and the same way you will approach someone who is all revealing a lot of things.